Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Fatima Hodge.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Brother David Hodge. We are active NGO warriors, representing Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals. It's wartime.
All right, brothers and sisters. Today, our topic is going to be the flood of humanity. Before we get started, we're going to start off with the Holocaust.
The Holocaust. This is the black man and woman of America's true experience, but they whitewash it and call it slavery. You might ask, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with you calling our experience slavery? Ain't that what we went through? No, it's not. That was just 1% that we went through, which was the economic side, which was maximum profit, minimum overhead, meaning that they gave us the bare minimum, meaning that we put in more than we got out. They gave us the scraps. They gave us just enough to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So, like you shared, these people, inside of our experience, slavery, when that is not all we went through. Like you shared, that's only 1%
Exactly.
of what we experience. What about the other 99% of torture, horror, affliction that was placed upon our people? They don't tell you about that part.
Right.
They hide it from the media. They'll show little pictures here and there of so-called slavery. They'll show a few pictures, a few movies, and you can find some photos out there. However, they don't show you the gruesome
Right. Oh, yeah.
scene that they used to put us through, brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
They can't show you that, brothers and sisters. They had movies out there that got close to
Right.
what they did. However, they removed those.
Right. They knew better.
So if you look and try to find anything about the Holocaust,
Right.
you won't be able to find it because they're trying to keep it from you. They're trying to whitewash it. They're trying to water it down.
Right.
As if it was a small situation that we experienced.
Right.
Or basically as if we were just slaves. Like today, you're working today at a job and you're considered a slave. Working at these jobs and getting paid less than what you were, brothers. That's slave. You're a slave.
Right.
So they're entitling our brothers and sisters being hung,
Right.
being raped,
Right.
being molested, brothers and sisters being whipped
Right. These people try to wipe us out.
completely. They treat us like animals,
Less than animals.
stripped us of all knowledge, brothers and
Took
sisters.
everything from you.
Experimented on us without anesthesia,
Imagine that.
sodomized us, castrated us. Brothers and sisters, these people are sick. And they hide that. They tell you experienced slavery.
Right.
Is that what's taking place at your job today? No, it's not. However, you're still slaves and you don't realize it. You're still going through the Holocaust and you don't realize it. However, it's not in that form anymore.
Exactly.
The way that they inflicted torture and horror on our people. That's why we share. Our ancestors would not be happy with what's going on today
Not at all.
in this world. They got their demons, their children from them raping our black women. They got their children promoting equality and all this crap that we don't want.
Right.
That we, the black original man, that they don't show on television, we don't want, brothers and sisters. But we got Negro bots out here because it's what they turned us into. And they're following their lead, following these demons' lead because they don't understand. They're programmed.
We can identify them. So they cheering us on to stay in the land of our imprisonment.
Exactly.
They're persuading us and conning us into partying with our enemies. They're telling you, hey, you should be happy. This is what our ancestors will want, but you have to understand, they're not like you, brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
They're not of you. So we don't have the same ancestors.
Right. And these people are basically having you push a vision that does not include you, brothers and sisters.
Right.
So imagine that you doing something for so long, you think you're gonna reach a goal, you never reach it. That is what's taking place right now, brothers and sisters. These people are manipulating our minds still. The Holocaust, brothers and sisters, still today. They were just the same way as they were doing during that time. They're still doing that.
Right.
You're still looking up to these people,
as
if they're like you. You want to be like them. But this thing, because our people are programmed, they don't realize that they are totally against you. They're destroying you.
Right. And these demons are the ones who are helping keep you programmed. You see, we were programmed by Massa. It took them 64 years to do it from the time we were brought here in 1555. Mm-hmm. So it brings us to 1619, and we're still programmed. But their demon children are the ones who enforce it and keep us within the programming. You see, they were the ones, the pastors, the preachers, the reverends, the so-called activists, the leaders, the political people that's representing you, the entertainers, and all these people that's clowns.
Democrats.
Right. Demons. Right. Democrats. Tick party. You see?
Demons like everywhere, brothers and sisters.
They wolves in sheep clothing, pretending to be you.
Pretending to be sheep.
Exactly.
Wolves pretending to be sheep.
Because their agenda is the same as Massa's, to wipe you out.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people don't understand. Well, we've went over it plenty of times what a demon is.
Right.
Which is half man, half devil.
Exactly.
From the rape of our black woman. These people raped our women, made us have their babies.
Right.
House Negroes, brothers and sisters. That's the language you all know them as. House Negroes. So when they say you were a house Negro, it wasn't because this is the mindset of our people. It's because you were light skinned or whatever the case may be. No, it's because you were not only light skinned, you could be whatever skin tone. You were a house Negro because you were Massa's child.
Exactly.
So they allowed those Negroes that were Massa's seed from the rape of our women, they allowed them to be in the house.
Exactly.
And the reason why is because they were like-minded. They were, the mindset was just like theirs. Brothers and sisters, they could trust them.
Exact same mind.
Exactly. They could trust them. They may not look like us, but they knew that was their children. So they could trust their children.
Right.
However, with us, it was a whole nother story.
Right. Because we're two different natures.
We two different natures. Exactly. So we were nowhere. We couldn't be nowhere near the home, brothers and sisters. All the whitewash things they show you all.
Right.
In these movies, as if we were just chilling.
Right.
And just.
Like we was getting plates.
And just
we had plates of food, and we was jumping brooms.
Right.
And we was kicking it, and they was the children on playgrounds and playgrounds and what's that, swings and.
That's probably them house Negroes. However, it was definitely not us, brothers and sisters. That was definitely not nowhere near. We didn't have any celebrations. It wasn't no birthday. It wasn't nothing to look forward to the next day but to work 24/7. 24/7. But to be on your knees eating out of a pig pen.
Pig trough.
Brothers and sisters. Eating shitlings. Brothers and sisters. Eating cow shit chips. Brothers and sisters.
Right.
These people are sick. They fed you literally the scraps of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they fed you that.
Right. And they fed to the gators.
Right. They fed our babies to alligators for bait. If that's not sick to you all, I don't know what.
Right.
And they did much more. Bent our
Right.
body parts and shapes and ways and played with our bodies. And, one lady made us bent her slaves up into crabs, the shape of a crab.
Right.
That's how these people are sick, brothers and sisters. I can't even
Right.
explain exactly the details of what was
Well,
done.
see, that's why we say that they got these horror movies that you be watching. They get these ideas from what they used to do to us. It just don't come out of nowhere. So they got a movie called The Human Centipede. It's when you sew someone's mouth to another person's behind, and it's just you keep that rotation going. That's what they used to do to us in real life.
Exactly right. Mm-hmm.
Had the other slave feed the one who's gonna poop in his mouth, feed the first one who's sewn up. They feed him shit, and then he poops into the other one's mouth.
Right.
You see, that's what they were doing to us.
Sewing our mouths closed with poop in it.
Right.
Brothers and
Had us
sisters.
eating poop
for a punishment.
to release poop. Like
we had to breathe out of our nose just so the poop won't go down our throat.
Exactly.
With our mouths sewn shut, brothers and sisters, for a punishment.
Right.
If that's not, I don't understand, brothers and sisters. These people are not for you, regardless of the smile they put on their faces today.
Right. Right.
All that nice act that they put up.
And they doing that because they know they in trouble.
Exactly. Because they're about to reap the cost of horror from the horror cost, brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
They're about to reap their consequences for what they done to us, brothers and sisters. These people are not getting away with that.
Right. They know about you.
It may feel like they did.
Mm-hmm.
You think every day probably the original people. Why are these people still getting away with this stuff?
Right.
Don't make any sense. And then you praying to God every day. Because they gave you religion, Christianity, something that is has no power, brothers and sisters.
None.
You praying to God, asking Him to change things, and that's not how things work.
Right.
Brothers and sisters.
He ain't never responded to you once. Ain't never brought nothing into existence from prayer.
Then they say you're not to question Him. Well, I got a few questions.
Well, where's that at in the Bible?
Right. When you question why these people have done all these things to you, when you question that, when you question why they took all your jobs, they beat you to death, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Completely took your mind from you, brothers and sisters.
Right.
You don't question why they did all these things to you.
Part of your program.
To you, brothers and sisters. Why they do these things to you, though? Our people don't even question that because they're so brainwashed into this reality that they don't even sit and question.
Right.
Why?
Well, that was
why did we go through that? Why did only us? Why us?
That's part of the program. To not think. To not ask questions.
Exactly.
You see, because that'll break your programming. They have to start answering and giving you the answer to things, which is going to lead to another question. See? So they shut that down.
Mm-hmm.
Then they sell you heaven. And they enforce hell on you. So now you're terrified and tormented.
Right. For the rest of your life. So that's all they need to do is give you that. And then you tormented the rest of your life.
Right.
So, brothers and sisters, these people have to inflict terror on it to keep a terrorist nation.
Right. They're terrorists.
Right.
To maintain a terrorist nation, you have to inflict terror.
Exactly.
24/7, 365, relentlessly, non-stop. They go all year long. And no remorse, no mercy for you.
Exactly. And the only terror that can be inflicted 24/7 in that manner is Christianity.
Right.
These religions, they tell you that you're going to go to hell.
Right.
Brothers and sisters.
It's nowhere in the Bible does it say that. Nowhere.
And then it's no, brothers and sisters, makes no logical sense.
Right.
At all. These people just tell you whatever. And you run with it.
Right.
Because we were programmed to listen and obey Massa, brothers and sisters. Ask no questions. Do no research.
Right.
Just he said that, okay,
That's right.
and we move forward.
I mean, hey, if you think that you're going to hell and you scared as hell to go to hell, you want to make it to heaven, that's all you focused on. Because
Right.
this world don't mean nothing to you. They told you, don't worry about reality. You have to make it to heaven.
Exactly. And they told you the wrong heaven. They it's supposed to be the other way around, the heaven on earth.
Right.
Brothers and sisters, when we get home, they tell you don't worry about this reality. This reality, yeah, don't worry about this reality. This reality because it's against you. Brothers and sisters.
This is the reality.
They got it backwards. They got you telling you don't worry about this reality because you got heaven to be at.
Right.
So you doing all these reckless things just to say YOLO or whatever the case may be. Because you thinking, don't worry about this reality. I need to just get to heaven.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be, brothers and sisters.
They say it's simple. You
Right.
just ask God for
Forgiveness. Right.
So
go
whatever
right to
you
church
do,
after you drink.
Right before you die, just make sure you ask God for forgiveness.
Exactly.
Simple.
So they got you out here thinking YOLO and that basically as soon as you get to the church you ask for forgiveness is over.
Right.
Everything that you did, boom, slate clean.
Dump you in some water and
That
pull
is-
you up and now you're new.
Right, that is 100% inaccurate, brothers and sisters. Everything that you do has consequences, brothers
Right.
and sisters, and this is the standard that they took us off of, which is mathematics standard, the
Right.
consequence standard.
That's our reality.
Understanding that everything that you do is going to be consequences
equals
for it.
consequence. Right. You reap what
You
you
reap
sow.
what you sow, brothers
What
and
goes
sisters.
around comes around. That's our reality.
But they give you religion to think that you can do whatever you want to do, then
Free
go
will.
to church and ask
Right.
for forgiveness. Brothers and sisters, come on.
That's what they told you.
That does not make any logical sense.
Right.
These people tell you whatever just to get money out of you.
Man.
Especially these pastors
Right. Yeah. Prayer
who are
work.
still putting our people through the Holocaust.
Right. Still doing their job. They used to do this job at the beginning of the Holocaust as well.
Brainwashing
They
our
was the
people.
ones. They were the preachers that was preaching to us to motivate us
The
to keep
demons.
working.
Masters,
Massa.
babies, house Negroes.
Right. Tar babies, Oreos, black on the outside, white on the inside. They still the same people terrorizing and torturing us, inflicting terror on us. Terror bots.
And you want to know how? Because they wouldn't let us pick up a book.
Right.
We couldn't lift the book. It had to be their children.
Exactly.
Brothers and sisters.
So right, you see them niggas reading.
Right.
It had to be Master's children.
Exactly. They'll show you
Right.
clips in movies and showing you like the slave that was the pastor or whatever the case may be during their time.
Right.
And he was definitely the master's child,
Exactly.
brothers and sisters. Because this is like we shared these movies and shows, all these things that they show you are whitewash.
Right.
They're not going to tell you everything that they did to us, to children, to babies, to unborn babies,
Mhm.
to babies in the womb, brothers and sisters.
Right. Babies
They
in the
keep
womb, out
that
the womb.
for 100% off of the media.
Right.
Because
They know that.
anybody that see a baby getting tortured, beat, any of that nature,
Right.
will feel some type of way. So this is why this is just affect anybody just because of it being a child, and people are
Exactly.
sensitive towards
Right.
when it comes to children. So that alone just would cause corruption
Right.
if they were to put out what they did to the children during the
It's
Holocaust.
gonna cause
Be-
conflict, a problem.
Exactly, because this is when we experienced the most horror and affliction,
Exactly.
when we were the babies and the children.
Right.
Because you all know today when you're raising your children, you have to raise them as children.
Right.
Because once they get older, they're going to be already warped into what they wanted to be, or not what they wanted to be, or how basically, how they're
the way you raise them up.
exactly. The way you raise them. That's usually how they
Right.
come out, right?
Exactly.
So that's what they did, especially if you continuously do these things with that child. That's why they
Right.
had to continuously 24/7 inflict horror on us. So
Right.
once we got to a certain age, that's all we knew.
Right.
Shoot, that's all we knew from the womb. That's all we knew, literally.
Being a human robot.
Imagine that. Imagine being born into this, and this is all you knew to do. So I don't even know what you're talking about when you tell me it's my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We don't know
I don't
nothing.
even, what is that?
We
You
don't
know
know
what
what
I'm saying?
free is.
Any of that,
We
brothers
don't
and
know
sisters.
nothing.
Any of that.
But being
All
masters.
you knew was yes, master.
Right.
No, master.
Right.
Please, master. And then they tell you all you knew from the womb is that you go to hell if you don't obey this person.
Right.
That's all you knew from the womb. And our people question why our people did this. Why did our people sit and allow this to take place?
Right.
First of all, we were suffering from a deprivation of energy.
It's true.
And then, on top of that, our people were born into this, brothers and sisters.
Right.
They didn't know any better, brothers and sisters.
They never seen
this is
freedom.
all they knew.
They never knew what not being a slave was.
So imagine that all you know is that if I don't obey this person, I'm going to hell from birth, period.
Exactly.
I'm going to hell. Imagine that. And they tell you hell was so gruesome and fiery and hot and all these things are going to take place. You burn continuously burning. Brothers,
For
they
eternity.
tell, brothers and sisters, this is what they tell you.
They tell you that now.
Imagine that. So, but imagine that. And you thinking that. And that's all you thinking. So you got to obey these people.
Right.
Brothers and sisters.
They the one putting the word in for you. You want to make it there, right?
This is nothing that we just said, okay, we gonna, brothers and sisters, we weren't lazy, brothers and sisters.
Right.
It wasn't none of that taking place. Brothers and sisters, you just don't understand what the situation we were under, which was an energy deprivation.
Right.
So, like we shared, these people, they inflicted horror on us. And we will not forget what they've done to us. And they will be judged. All right? We're going to move into our topic. The flood of humanity, brothers and sisters. Noah's flood attacks and takes down America. All right. All right, brothers and sisters. So today we want to focus on the flood that's going to take place. All right, so in our people minds,
right,
the flood of the flood, Noah's, am I saying that right? Right. The flood represents an actual flood of water that covered the whole earth. And if you were not on that ark that was built for the flood, then you would perish, pretty much. So this is what our people mindset is thinking right now.
Right. We've been taught to be spooky.
Right. So this is the flood that all of our people were taught that would take place during the end times, right? Is that supposed to? Right. Or this is supposed to have already taken place, right?
See, but we were taught that the Bible was past tense.
Right.
Not true.
So we were taught the Bible was past tense. So we were taught that this is what took place. This is what took place, right? That the whole earth was covered with water, flood, and if you were not on that ark, then you were perished, and you had time to get on that ark, but you chose not to because you thought that they were lying or whatever the case may be. This is the story that everybody thinks of, and this is what they visualize in their mind when you think of Noah's Ark or the flood, brothers and sisters.
Right.
So, we're here to explain to you what this actually means. What the flood is actually identifying. From the angel revealing these things, brothers and sisters. Like we shared before, these scriptures were sealed the scriptures were sealed.
Right.
Meaning, no one will understand the scriptures until what?
The Lamb.
Until they were unsealed,
Right.
brothers and sisters. So, like we shared, they're telling you about these stories, like this one here,
Right.
telling you what it means. But it should the scripture were sealed.
Under a veil.
So how are you telling me anything
Right.
that the scriptures are telling me? Saying. It reads that only one man will be able to do that.
Right. It says well, only one. It said no one in the heavens or the earth or under the earth could break the seals but the Lamb. No one.
Exactly. And without this angel key that has been provided to us by the Lamb, Suleiman, the one who has unsealed the scriptures, without that, you will not know what the scriptures are telling you. And you have some scriptures out there that are telling you certain things that are,
Which is verbatim. Like that.
you can read and say, that's what that say.
Right.
Right? Exactly. But then you got revelations, you got certain, you got scriptures that you cannot understand, brothers and sisters. So, for example, you got, and I know all you so-called Bible readers have came across plenty of scriptures that you did not directly understand.
Right.
You had to make up something in your mind to put an understanding to what you just read, usually, because that's what those pastors and preachers do.
Right.
When they're out there preaching to you, just telling you a bunch of crap that's falling out of their butts, brothers and sisters. That's what they're doing. They're just thinking of scriptures and making up. They're playing it,
Right.
pretty sure. Playing the scripture, study it a little bit,
Right.
and then make up something that makes sense to their mind and throw it out there. And then, because they're a preacher, everybody just, amen, amen. Believe it, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Just making up whatever. And even, brothers and sisters, you all can go out there and read the scriptures. The pastor don't have to do it for you.
Right.
Read the scriptures yourself. Tell me if you understood what some of the scriptures was telling you.
You can't.
Like it tell you like the butt of the, like it's certain things that it's saying. The scriptures are telling you, like the hand of, or brothers and sisters, like the mouth. It's certain things, symbols in these
Right.
scriptures that it's identifying, and the mind won't understand that without a understanding.
Right.
Brothers and sisters, without getting that understanding,
Right.
we would not understand what that's saying, because it don't make any. I mean, it's going to make sense once you have this intro key.
It's right. It's sealed up.
Once you understand, right? But it's sealed,
So it means
brothers and sisters.
only one person can give it to you.
Exactly, which is the Lamb who has given us this angel to be able to actually explain to you all what the actual flood is. And that's what we're going to be explaining to you all today. So we just wanted to basically highlight what everyone is thinking today
Right. And it's actually
about the flood
Right.
that's going to take place.
And it's literally impossible to put two of each animal.
All right. Two of each, right, it was two, it said two of each animal on the planet was on
Right.
that ark.
That's impossible.
Right, it's impossible, brothers. You ain't gotta go into details. They can't even, brothers. It gets deeper than that. The story doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we're gonna tell you all exactly what this story is, the actual flood is. That's what we're gonna focus on. We're focusing on the flood today, brothers and sisters. All right. So the flood. Excuse me. So, this flood they speak about, they tell you this past tense when it's actually a physical flood that's going to come here to America, brothers and sisters. To America, brothers and sisters.
So it means it's near future.
Right. So, this flood that's coming here, is it going to be a bunch of water
Right.
falling from, sucking up from the ocean?
Where
Brothers and sisters?
Right.
Where's the flood coming from? Because that's what you're thinking, right? You're thinking flood. When you're thinking flood, you're thinking water. It's usually, excuse me, Regis. That's usually the first thought in your mind. You're thinking water. As soon as you hear flood, water, boom. That's exactly why they got that completely wrong.
Right.
Brothers and sisters, because it can be a flood of many things.
Right.
Flood was just the word that they identified it as, because it's going to be ooh, I don't know what's going on. Yes. Ooh. Because it's going to be a flood of something.
Right.
So it wasn't literally saying, that's the first thought that comes to mind, of course. You think flood, you're thinking abundance of water.
Right.
But this is literally trying to tell you it's going to be a flood of something, not literally water.
Right.
Okay? So, like we shared, the topic is the flood of humanity. So, we share that it's going to be a flood here that's going to come here. And we know that the flood represents, said that everybody will perish that are not on that ark, right? And get left behind in that flood. This is the narrative. You don't want to be left behind.
And that part's still true.
Which is still true, exactly, because there's certain things that they could, like we shared, there's certain parts of the scripture that are clearly identifiable, brothers and sisters, like that part. So if you did not make it on that ark, you were left behind in this flood, right?
Right.
So that's the thing. You don't want to be left behind in this flood. We don't want to be left behind in this flood that's about to come, because if we do, we're gonna perish. So we want to be on this ark, right? To save our lives, we want to be on this ark. All right. So that means if I share that the flood has nothing to do with water, then what else is it? Right? And we know that it's something that you don't want to be left behind in.
Right. True.
So what is it? It's not talking about water, so what is it talking about? So the flood, like we shared, the topic is the flood of humanity, which represents people, right? Humanity, people, right? So that is what the flood represents. An army, brothers and sisters. That is the unsealed version of what that flood represents. It's going to be a flood of people, meaning multiple people, plenty, lots. It says you want to be, like we shared, that part was not inaccurate, that you don't want to be left behind and you want to be on that ark before that flood comes.
Right.
So that before that flood of people, that flood of humanity comes, you want to be on this ark so you are not left behind.
Right.
So what people? That's the next question. That's the next question in our people's minds. What people are going to come and flood America? Now, it also identifies in the scriptures that there will be a 200 million man army. Would you like to explain that part?
Right. So it speaks about the 200 million man army that would come, and this army is referring to that flood
Exactly.
that's going to take place.
Right.
But like she explained, since we're living out the Bible, these things are future. So that means
This is about to take place.
right, there's a near invasion coming. It's a flood of humanity, so it's a people. So that 2 million man army represents
a people.
a people, right?
Exactly.
And who has those numbers?
That's what we need to think about, brothers and sisters. So it tells you
Right.
that this many people is going to come here. Who has that many numbers of people?
And who is America?
Army.
And who is America at odds with? That they used to be best friends with, but now these people who has an abundance of population, who are they? It's the people in this world that overpopulates the world. So who could do such numbers but China?
Exactly, brothers and sisters. China and India are the only places that can produce those type of armies, those type of groups of people, because America don't have that many people in here. They don't have that much population.
It's true.
We know that China, those locations, they are very overpopulated in those areas, to where they're running people over. They really don't care out there because so many people, so many of them, right? And these people are the people that's about to come here and invade America.
Right.
It shared 200 million men on brothers and sisters. America will have to enlist the whole United States.
Right.
In order to compete with that number.
Right.
Brothers and sisters. So we're going to go into, basically, we just want to show you all.
Right.
From just simple Google searches where you can just Google and basically research and figure out.
Right.
You can you
do comparison.
Excuse me. Okay. So we researched and it's letting you know how many people is in each army.
Right.
Okay. So we're not going by these exact numbers, brothers and sisters. Well, these are the exact numbers. But brothers and sisters, it tells you there's going to be a 200 million man army. We're just trying to compare the fact that America has less people, completely less people than China and India. Right. That's what we're trying to identify to you all today. Okay? So it tells you here, it shares that America has, excuse me.
We can just read it.
Okay, you can go ahead.
It says it is the largest military branch, and in the facial year of 2020, the projection in strength for the regular army, USA, was 480,893 soldiers. The Army National Guard, ARNG, had 336,129 soldiers. In the U.S. Army Reserves, USAR, had 188,703 soldiers. The combined component strength of the U.S. Army was 1,005,725 soldiers.
So this is that number. The last number there is all in total, right? Of the soldiers they have here in America. All right. So we're gonna get to the next one. We have China's. All right. It says in 2022, China had the largest armed forces in the world by active duty military, personnel, with about 2 million active soldiers, brothers and sisters. So this is 2022's update.
Mm-hmm.
China has on record 2 million active soldiers. They're active right now. That's
just the active.
That's just the active.
What about
that's
the
inactive? That's what we're trying to explain to you all. It's going to be. We're just trying to show you all now the comparison of the numbers between America's army and then their army. So it's just showing that this is not. It cannot be identifying America, brothers and sisters. It cannot be. It cannot be identifying America. So who is this scripture speaking about? Why does it say only 200 million men in this army? Because if it was talking about America, America would have to enlist the whole
United States.
Right. The whole United States, brothers and sisters, meaning children, babies, and all.
Everybody. And women are exempt, but they will not be. You see? Exactly.
They can't be. They need this certain amount, brothers and sisters. So we know they are not speaking about America.
Right.
They're speaking about a whole nother army that's coming, brothers and sisters. All right, we're going to get into India's.
And it says here that the Indian armed forces are under the management of the Ministry of Defense of the government of India, which with strength of over 1.4 million active personnel. It is the world's second largest military force and has the world's largest volunteer army. Volunteer. It also has the third largest defense budget in the world.
Exactly. All right, so this is also showing as well. We're just looking at the number at this point. Sure, they got 1.4 million active soldiers at this point right now. This is India. So them together will be about 3 million.
Right.
What did it say?
Close to 3.5.
Because about 3 million, right? About 4, almost 4.
Right.
So this is the active soldiers that they have right now.
Right.
It's still more.
It's more inactive.
That's
soldiers,
what we're trying to explain to you all.
Ready to go.
Brothers and sisters. It's still more. We're trying to explain to you all that that's still more than America's.
Right. Right now. Right.
That's what I'm trying to explain. That's still more than America's army right now.
That triples.
So that has nothing to do with the people that's not active and that.
Right.
That's more. The people that they have right now is more than the brothers. They told brothers and sisters. There's no way. They were speaking about America. All right, so we're going to explain. So basically, we want to just identify to you all that the flood that was being spoken about is speaking about the invasion that's going to take place here in America, brothers and sisters.
Right.
The invasion that you all do not know about. Why is that? Let's get into this. The flood of humanity. All right. As you all see there, you got China and India.
Mm-hmm.
As you all see their army, they're marching. You see how many of them there's? Thousands, millions. That's all we wanted to show you all there. And you all see America's flag just burning, of course. Because America's about to be destroyed,
it's over with.
brothers and sisters.
About to be engulfed in flames. Meaning destroyed, perished, gone, out of here.
We want to show you all some visuals so you all can get an understanding of what we're actually trying to explain to you all and what's actually about to take place here in your so-called home,
right,
brothers and sisters.
No more of those movies.
The home that you want to stay at so bad.
Right.
And you don't understand that you have a home to go to. And you have a promise, brothers and sisters.
Right. It's true.
And if you choose to stay behind, you're going to be involved in this flood, brothers and sisters.
This is what you'll be going through.
The flood of humanity. These people are not playing.
Not at all.
It should a lot put on their minds to destroy America.
Right.
They're angry at America.
Right.
These thieves.
They remember what they've done.
All the things that they did. Push drugs in their brothers and sisters. Everything that they've done.
Drop bombs on their people. They ain't forgot.
Brothers and sisters, these people are not playing. They're coming angry, furious, ready to kill, ready to take everyone they can that's able-bodied captive as well. And what was done to us is going to be done to them as well, brothers and sisters. Even worse.
Right. Said a double
even
scoop.
Worse. And this is what's to come, brothers and sisters.
Right. Time of unprecedented
trouble. This is the flood that you don't want to be involved in. The scripture that I told you to be on Noah's Ark, the Noah's brothers. This is the flood that they're speaking about. Because if you are not on that, or if you are not in the Lamb's Book of Life,
right, that's the qualification.
Because it identifies that, brothers and sisters, that The ark don't even mean a boat, brothers and sisters. That's not exactly what it was telling you, brothers and sisters. The ark is identifying the angel key. Brothers and sisters, that's why we share with you these scriptures were not understood until the Lamb came and unsealed them and gave us the understanding. So, you don't want to be left behind in this flood. So, how do I get out? I don't want to be left behind here. This is what's to come.
Right.
These people are about to come. I know you all seen movies.
No more
period.
Movies.
It's no more of that movie stuff, but I know you all have seen them.
No more fake invasions.
Where they come and show you all
right.
And it's a lot of African movies in that nature. Because that's the one I seen where they were all locked in that hotel or whatever the case.
Rwanda or something.
Okay, yes. And they invade like a whole small little area, whatever.
Right.
They torching everything, shooting up everyone, kids, children, babies, everyone, women, all of it.
Leaving no one alive.
No one, brothers and sisters. That's about to be at your front doorstep.
Right.
Do you see how many people this is? Do you see how many people this is, brothers and sisters? Unprecedented trouble.
A time like no other, and never will there be.
200 million. Like we shared, they will have to enlist the whole United States.
Everyone. We can't compete.
In order to compete with their army. Imagine that. That means people's going to be surrounding your homes.
Right.
Surrounding everywhere. There's no way out of this. They're going to continue to share. They're going to continue until America was destroyed.
Exactly.
No mercy.
None. This is a consequence due to the Holocaust, due to what they did to us. This is their consequence. So now can you capture that, visualize that flood? These flood of people that's going to flood you coming from all angles, leaving you in shock, leaving you for your death. These people, like you said, they're not playing with you.
Right.
They're coming to
kill,
take you into captivity. Right. Kill you. Torture you.
The punishment is not for you, brothers and sisters, but if you're here and you choose not to stay, and you choose not to leave, brothers and sisters,
right?
And you fall victim to America and this vision.
You claim association with these people. Then
you're gonna claim exactly, and now you're gonna be involved in everything. Guilty as charged. Right. You are as well, brothers and sisters. You're accessory to the crime.
You know what happens to people that's accessory? They get the same time. They go down too. You see?
And you all have a reward, brothers and sisters. You have a reward. That's the main thing we're trying to make you all understand, that you don't have to experience this.
It's not for you.
You don't have to hear the sounds of the raging war, brothers and sisters. You don't have to hear this.
Right.
That's what we're trying to get to you all today. Because this is what's coming. There's no questions about it anymore. It was never any questions. However, this is coming into place as we speak right now. These people are planning to go to war. These people are planning. They're angry at America. They're coming. They can come any day now, brothers. This stuff can happen any day now.
Right.
The war can break out. And all these events start to escalate. This is why we're here, giving you all this knowledge.
Giving you the true light, the only light.
The only light, brothers and sisters.
Because it's about to be much darker than it is now. The way you see what's going on in the world. You see everything that's taking place in the world. You're not blind. You see the food shortages. You see the violence rising. You see drug overdose. You see gender confusion. You see people being confused in general. This is our signs indicating that we're in the end times, that these events are about to take place. These are warnings. Warning comes before destruction.
Yes, sir.
And you have to pay attention. You have to take heed. But it said many didn't.
And many were left behind. As you all know the story of Noah's Ark.
Right. That's when it says that my people are lost from the lack of knowledge. Lost. What does that mean? What is my people are lost? People think like lost, like out here in the world is lost.
Right.
No, when it say lost, it means gone, annihilated, perished, done, no longer exist. You see, that's unsealed. Lost meaning that
Meaning we're going to lose them.
Right.
Due to the lack of knowledge
Due to the
that they have,
right.
We're going to lose you all.
Right.
But we can't lose you all because we need each other.
Right. We're one body.
Brothers and sisters, we're one body. We need each other.
That's why we up here
24/7.
talking to you, telling you,
every day,
trying to warn you, trying to be a light for you, trying to guide you out this darkness that we're headed to, trying to give you the truth while everyone else is pushing lies, falsehood, fake stuff, fiction, fairy tales.
Everyone else is about to perish here, brothers and sisters. I know you all see everything going on. Parties still jumping. Business still rocking, booming. Right. Everything is still going as usual. So you don't think anything is about to come to an end.
That's because we're in the eye.
How can America come to an end? Right. You know how powerful America is, brothers and sisters? You're about to be in the shock of your life here in a few days.
Right. That's because our people, they're not aware of what's taking place, because if you know what the eye of the storm is, you're in the eye of the storm, meaning that you don't...
Eye of the hurricane.
Right, you don't know what's going on. When you're in the eye of the storm, it's less... See, you don't experience all those things until it moves.
Right, until that hurricane start moving and hitting you, and you start feeling it. Because when you all understand how hurricanes work, if you're in the eye of the hurricane, usually nothing's happening right there in the eye of that hurricane. So you're a little confused on, it's nothing happening, so you think everything's okay. Exactly. On the outside of you, stuff throwing around, stuff flying, brothers and sisters. But you in his eye, so you think everything's okay.
Right, you think it's good.
Until it start moving.
It ain't coming my way.
And coming your way, brothers and sisters.
Right.
You're no longer in that eye. Start feeling it. So, brothers and sisters, please don't be distracted. Do not allow this vision to cause your destruction. These people ain't doing nothing compared to what you have in store.
Right.
This is nothing to miss, brothers and sisters.
Nothing.
Not even going to remember it. This is like a big dream we're having right now.
Twinkle of an eye.
Because when we get home, we're living for thousands, millions of years, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Right now, you're sick. You're ill. That's why you're sleeping. Because that's what sick people do. You sleep.
Right.
Brothers and sisters, you're about to get a big burst of energy back.
Right.
Energy about to return to the planet. On top of everything being in your favor.
Exactly.
Brothers and sisters, you're about to just experience nothing but greatness. Nothing but greatness. And you're going to be around your people. People that look like you and me, brothers and sisters. Not just people that look like us. Because, people
who think like you.
Right, think like you and me. Excuse me, let me identify that. Excuse me, because everybody don't look the same. So, like I shared, the mindsets, everybody's mindset's about to be alike, brothers and sisters. There's not going to be no more conflict. Any of the things that you are experiencing today that's causing you to distort yourself away from your own people because of it, it's not going to be any of that because you're going to be around the people, you're going to be around the sheep.
Right.
Brothers and sisters.
And those wolves and
those
sheep
wolves
clothing
are about to be separated from us.
Tossed out.
Exactly. So the people that are making us look bad, that's causing you to have the thoughts that you don't like your own people, which we can't blame you. Because it gets to that point to where you don't want to be around your own people.
Right.
Because it's too much.
Right.
You don't understand, though.
Right.
That those are wolves and not sheep.
Exactly.
Brothers and sisters.
They camouflage.
They're skin folk, but they're not kin folk, brothers and sisters.
So they black.
They look like us, but they are master seed.
They got massive
They
mind.
act just like their daddies. Blood sucking demons, brothers
Leeches.
and sisters.
Human leeches. Robbing and taking your joy.
So of course, that's exactly what you're thinking today. Of course,
Right.
that's what you're thinking.
So you avoid black people in general.
Exactly.
See, we could come off as another nigga that's trying to do something to you
Right. Exactly.
because that's all we've experienced. Niggas taking us down. It's our own people.
They're like, if you sending me to pastor and preachers taking from me, why wouldn't you be there? Why wouldn't
Right.
you?
You
Are
see?
we asking you for money? Are we doing any of those things that know them
Right.
from their works, right? Are we asking you for anything like that?
Never asked for a
Supermarkets
dime.
never asked us for a dime.
Don't want nothing from you. Just want to give. Just want you to have.
This knowledge is yours.
It's a free gift.
This is your knowledge, brothers and sisters. Nothing should be paid for. What? Brothers and sisters, these people, that's how you know
That's
these
how you
people
know.
are manipulating you because
That's how you know who your
if
enemy
it's yours,
is.
why am I paying for what's mine?
Right.
Period. Right?
It's true.
It's because these people are here to manipulate you, meaning they're going to continue to do that. Meaning
Right.
you're going to continue to give them money.
Right.
They're going to continue to feed you lies, brothers and sisters, so they can continue to get that money.
That's because they know prayers don't work. They tell you to pray, but they take your physical cash and sell you something that don't exist. They tell you to pray and hope, and if prayers don't work, keep praying. Just keep praying. Just keep praying.
All right. Pray, pray, pray. Everybody. Nothing has ever came into existence with a prayer, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Ever. It's not even any proof to even, brothers and sisters, nothing has ever came into existence from a prayer.
Not one thing.
The phone you using, mathematics. The computer
Mathematics.
we use, mathematics. The speaker you use, mathematics. The table you sitting on, chair you sitting on, they had to come up with a mathematical way to create it. Brothers and sisters, come on, brothers. Everything is made from
Anything
mathematics. Brothers,
invented.
nothing can be made from prayer.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not
All you're
one
doing
thing.
is talking, and then you're talking to no brothers
Right.
and sisters.
But see,
Woo! You'll be declared completely insane. Honestly, however, we are the insane ones
right.
because what we're saying is against the programming
Right.
of our people.
No one's talking about what we're talking about.
No one's warning you about the flood, the actual flood that's about to come, the
Right.
physical flood, the real flood, brothers. Nobody's warning you about that, but they're your so-called light, right? Those pastors and preachers supposed to be your light, right?
Right.
They're not giving you none. Not one bit of it, because if you don't know this, then you don't know nothing, brothers and sisters.
It's true.
You don't know nothing.
I
Nothing.
mean, you're completely being misguided.
You're being guided by a blind man. And you
Exactly.
blind, leading the blind, brothers and sisters and stuff. Brothers and sisters.
A blind man can't even see another blind man. That's how blind. You see how blind it is?
Exactly. These people are working 24/7 around the clock to distract you from what is actually taking place today. They got it on news 24/7 telling you about the wars, all these things that are taking place. They're breaking into Trump's home, looking for
Right.
new docs. All these things that we are causing, Suleiman is causing to
Exactly.
take place with this angel, the higher pressure,
Right.
which is going to defeat these lower pressure beings, brothers and sisters. This low pressure mindset,
Reality.
this thinking, all
Mhm.
this, brothers and sisters, is going to be crushed
That's what it
here
said.
pretty soon,
That's what it said.
very soon, and we're causing it.
Exactly. That's our reality.
Exactly.
Mathematics, things don't just happen out of nowhere.
Hmm.
You have to make them happen.
Just like the wind's blowing, you don't see. You see it blowing, but
No, you don't.
I mean, excuse
Right.
me, you feel it, but you don't see it,
Right.
brothers and sisters. So something's making it, right?
Right. But you see the evidence of it
You
too.
see the evidence.
When the tree branches and leaves are blowing, you see. So you see America taking place. You see all the things that's happening. You see the evidence of mathematics, but you can't see the person who's crushing this reality.
Who's causing these things to take place. Exactly. Right. Which is this higher pressure.
Exactly.
All this higher pressure is defeating all their lower pressure mindsets. All this whole reality is crushing because of it,
and
brothers and sisters.
It's being crushed from all angles. It's important. You see? That's how you know it's done with. It's being crushed from all sides.
Yes, sir. They've never raided the president's home.
Right.
Let's talk about that. That alone is, wow, 2022, brothers and sisters. They're crushing completely. Conflict 24/7 is about to take place.
Right.
But that's another conversation. However, we just want to, the main topic that we wanted you all to understand is the flood. The flood of humanity that's about to come here to America. Straight to your home, brothers and sisters. There will be no more food here. And if there is food, it's shared. It gets deeper than this because you don't even understand right now. And they've been they've been buying out since, from what I recall, since last year or the beginning of this year. Or just, I'm not sure exactly the dates, I'm going to speak on that. However, they have been buying out all of our crops.
See what happened?
They've been buying the crops out. Chinese, they've been buying all the crops. Why is that? You ever wonder that? That's a part of warfare. Something that our people may not know, that's a part of warfare. You know, well, people do know that food is a weapon for war. The food, that you poison it and everybody wants to eat, right? As soon as you eat it, you die, right? Something takes place to you, brothers and sisters. So that's what they're doing. They're buying all of our crops, brothers and sisters, here in America. Not our crops. They're buying all of their crops here in America, poisoning them, preparing them. So when you think you about to go get something to eat, some of that corn out there in that field that's growing, it's poison. So brothers and sisters, it's about to be unprecedented time, brothers and sisters. No one can save you from this.
Right. Time.
Not your mama, not your daddy,
right.
Not the officer.
Exactly.
Not the judge. Everyone's in danger.
Right.
Everyone's in danger. Only thing that can save you is if you're original at this time. If you're original black man and black woman.
Right.
You're the only people who are being spared, who are not being touched, because we are the originators of the planet. We're getting rid of these people, brothers and sisters, because they cannot. Their time is up. First of all, they cannot withstand the pressure that's coming back to you. Whereas they were deprivation people, brothers and sisters. These people are about to perish. And they're about to reap their consequences. And this flood of humanity is about to come here to your front doorsteps, brothers and sisters. And this is not an event that you want to witness, brothers and sisters. So, we are stressing to you, we're not making you do anything, but we're just stressing to you all the importance of this time that we're in right now. It's time to start asking questions. It's time to start seeking more understanding of what's going on. All right, do you have anything else to share, brother?
That's it.
All
pretty
right.
good.
All right, so with that, we're going to be back with more. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Excuse me.